Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Orv3NWO bringing you another Call of Duty gameplay, and this time it is Team Deathmatch on Hazard. I'm not really going to talk much about the gameplay on this one. It's pretty cool gameplay. Started out, I was hoping I could call this a sniping gameplay, but I'm going to use it for something else. I snipe a little bit in this, but I pick up a lot of other weapons too, and that's kind of how I end up getting my kills. Get a little lucky on the care package also, so I'll let you see all that. But what I really want to talk about is right now it would be tomorrow. By the time this is up, it'll be today. It is a crazy time in our nation's history. It is September 11th, and it is the 10th year anniversary of it. And I'm really interested in knowing where all of you guys were when this happened. If you even remember it, anything like that, because I know a lot of the guys that watch my videos are younger. I'm 23. And I'm not even sure how I would know what grade I was in. I was in, let me think. I just forgot. I was in 8th grade. Yeah, it was the year right before I went to high school. And I remember I was in, it was my first period class, because it happened, I think, in New York. I think it was at like 8:56-ish, right at 9 in New York. But is that right? We're behind New York, I think, here in Texas, so it would have been right around 8 o'clock. And it was really wild, because we had started in class, and we had this thing in our class where you do like a kind of a warm-up thing where I guess if the teacher isn't exactly ready for everyone to start class, then you do these kind of warm-up deals at your desk while you're waiting on the teacher. And we're doing that, and there was a phone call, and usually when the phone rings, it's no big deal. The teacher's usually got somebody they need to send to the principal or something like that. And so I wasn't thinking it was that big of a deal. And all of a sudden, our teacher just like starts busts out crying. And I can't figure out what's going on. And I'm sitting there with my best friend, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And apparently, I think one of the other students in my class at that point had a cell phone, which is no big deal now, but back then it was kind of crazy. And he found out about it, and he was telling kids. And then my teacher, it was a science class. She came out and she was like, "Okay, this is what's going on. We're not really sure what happened, but there's been a plane that crashed." And at this point, they didn't even know it was an attack. She just said there's been a plane crash into the World Trade Center. And at that age, I mean, I wasn't even really sure what the World Trade Center was. I knew nothing about that it had actually been bombed before, or attempted to bomb before. So I had no idea what it was. I didn't think it was that big of a deal when I first heard it. I was like, why is she flipping out like that? And then you start to see, you hear about the next plane, and then you hear about what happened at the Pentagon and all that kind of stuff. And it's really gets to be kind of freaky. And there were a lot of kids in my class, the kids that know a little bit more, but really just enough to kind of be dangerous, and they're really kind of freaking other people out, telling them what's happening. And there's even one kid. I live in a halfway small town in North Texas. He's like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna bomb us next because we got this dam at the lake and it runs the energy to Dallas or something." And it was just all ridiculous stuff. But so that was freaking all the kids out. And it wasn't until my next period. It was a history class, and the teacher's big time history buff, so she knows the kind of impact of what's happening right now, and she puts it on and actually lets us watch the news with it. And it was about that time that the second plane hit, and I mean, it's just, we don't know what's going on. This lady that was our history teacher, her husband is actually a war veteran, and I'm pretty sure she said Vietnam War. And so it's hitting her even a little more. This was actually September 11th was the first time that we had been attacked on U.S. soil since Pearl Harbor, which was World War II. So that doesn't, if you don't really think about that, that doesn't really set with you until you actually think about how big of a deal that is. No one has ever attacked this country except for basically Pearl Harbor, and since it's been formed as a country, and that's a scary thing. But really, I want to know where you guys were and what your reactions were to it, if you even had a reaction to it, if you knew what was going on, if you were too young. I think it'd be kind of cool to get some comments together and see what other people thought, what other people were going through. I know I was, after we kind of figured out what was going on, I was more worried about other attacks, about other things happening than I really was the people in the situation at the time, which is who I probably should have been worrying about. And actually, by the time school was out, my mom, I think, had already gone and given blood and all kinds of stuff like that. So it all happened so rapidly. It was really wild. But you know, when it got to the time when I was actually outside after school and talking to my parents and stuff, they're like, "Yeah, well, we have family members that live in New York, and we have family members that were actually, you know, at the Trade Center and all kinds of stuff like that." I have a cousin that was that's in the FBI that was afterwards was helping to kind of work on stuff about it, and it's such a weird deal, and I don't know if the impact is still. I think for more people my age and probably a little older, it definitely does set home. But I think it's tough for people that were younger that don't actually know what happened and know the importance of what happened. I think it's hard for them to really understand it. And I just kind of want to get that out there, let you guys kind of know what it was, in case you didn't, and hopefully you'll kind of think about it. I know that if you watch any football this weekend, I know in the Jets-Cowboys game, they're going to have a full-length flag, full field flag going. I know a bunch of the players are wearing USA cleats, red, white, and blue cleats. Both teams, I'm not sure if it's both teams. I know at least the Jets are going to be wearing like FDNY and FDN. Yeah, is that right? Fire Department of New York, NYPD, and all. Anyways, sorry, New York Fire Department and Police Department hats instead of their own Jets hats. I think the Cowboys are doing that too. That's cool stuff. I'm glad to hear that they did that, and it was kind of a big deal because the NFL in the past had not allowed people to wear special cleats and special stuff like that. They'd actually fine people for that. So people were saying things like, well, if they're going to fine me, that'll be the best fine I've ever paid. I'm really glad to see that they're letting the teams do that. That's awesome. Got a lot of respect from you like that. They could have lost a lot of respect if they didn't. I think it's just kind of common sense to let people do that. But anyways, let me know where you were. Let me know your significance if you have any stories like that. Let's get a USA chant. Big Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You guys don't know who that is. USA chant going in the comment section. USA, USA. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.